The Auburn Tigers football team should be claiming 5 or 6 national championships. Currently, we're only claiming 2. Let's talk about why. Welcome back, Auburn Tiger fans, and today I want to talk about why I think Auburn should be claiming more national championships than they currently are. Some of you are going to disagree with me on this, but my reasoning is because we are living in a brand new era, and that is the era of clout and fame, and a lot of that is being brought about by the internet, and specifically the NIL news that just came out where players can make money on their name, image, and likeness. And so because of this news and this new era that we live in, I think Auburn is currently making a mistake. Auburn should be claiming some national championships that they are currently not claiming. These are debated or contested championships, however you want to look at it, where there are more than one team, multiple teams that could be claiming that championship, and Auburn's currently choosing not to. And this is the reason why I think Auburn should do this. First, let's take a look at our friends up north, Alabama. I think most people know that there's some controversy surrounding the number of national championships that Alabama claims. That was evident when we saw ESPN. ESPN would always say, here's how many Alabama claims, and here's how many that we recognize. And the reason for this discrepancy is because of a man named Wayne Atchison. So if you picked up a 1982 media guide from Alabama, it would have said, or it would still say, that they have 6 national championships. If you then pick up the 1983 media guide, it says that Alabama has 12 national championships. And so people should wonder, what is the reason for that discrepancy in those years? Wayne Atchison decided, and apparently he talked to the university about this, but he decided when he was working on the 1983 media guide, he went back in history and looked at some other championships that he thought Alabama could have claimed. And for the most part, what he was doing is he was looking at any national championship where one organization, one group, said that they thought Alabama was the national championship. Even if all the other groups chose someone else, he still put that as an Alabama national championship. And I'll show you real quick the disputed national championships, or some of the more controversial ones, like the 1941 national championship. But I'll show you the ones that he added to Alabama's list of national championships in 1983. If you continue to read in this article on AL.com, and I'll put a link to this article if you want to read it in the description down below. But if you continue to read in this, it's actually disputed. It was the 1986 media guide, even though Atchison said it was 1983. But if you go to the Bryant Museum, I guess you can see this behind glass. I don't know, I've never been and I don't plan on going. But it lists 5 that were added, but it says they went from 6 to 12. So I don't know where the one is that was also added. But after he combed through the history of national championships, and he saw Alabama's name in a couple of places where they were not currently claiming those championships, he decided to add them to Alabama's clout, to what they've won. And so here are the years that he added. He added 1925, 1926, 1930, 1934, and 1941. And the most controversial one on that list is that 1941 national championship. And part of the reason for that is that they lost 2 games that year. They lost 2 games. They're claiming to be national champions. And if you look, the only system that claimed them as champions that year is the Houlgate system, which was a very short-lived system. I'll also put a link to that in the description down below if you want to read more about what that system, that ranking system, that way of choosing a champion is all about. I'm not going to go through all that today, but you're more than welcome to go and look at it yourself. So my point with looking at Alabama and what they did in the 80s is, if they can do that, why not Auburn? There are multiple championships that Auburn could claim using that same logic that Bama used in the 80s. Why don't we just do that today? I don't see any reason why we can't. And I think there's going to be a lot of people who will disagree with me on this. Currently, we claim 1957 and 2010. And those are not disputed. But there are multiple years that Auburn could be claiming based on that same criteria that Alabama used. So outside of those 2 years, 1957 and 2010, these are the years that I think Auburn should look at again. I know Jay Jacobs looked at this at one point in the not too distant past. It may have been 5 or so years ago. But here are some more championships, some more years that I think Auburn should take another look at and consider claiming. The years I think we should claim are 1913, 1983, 1993, and what may be considered a controversial pick, 2004. The reason I think we should claim 2004 is unless the NCAA does something and reinstates USC's national championship, their claim to the national title, nobody's claiming it. So why don't we claim that? Because clearly Auburn should have been in that championship with USC. I don't think there's any doubt about that now. They did have an undefeated season, and USC just trounced their opponent. And so I don't see any reason why Auburn could not claim that. They were undefeated. They had an amazing year, beat a ton of good teams. So why not? Just claim it. The other reason I think Auburn should claim that 2004 title is that they beat 5 ranked teams that season. USC only beat 3. Sure, one of those teams they beat was the number 2 team in the country, but Auburn did not have a chance to play Oklahoma like USC did. So because of that, all those reasons, undefeated, amazing season, the controversy around USC, which could be cleared up in the near future, there's no really way to tell, but why not claim it? But let's say you don't like that, that's too controversial, that's too much. Why not the other championships I listed? Why not 1913, 1983, and 1993? I'd love to hear what you think about that in the comments below. Okay, so I did just find this part, a quote from Jay Jacobs, and it said there was a year-long study done in 2013. It said after a year-long study, Athletic Director Jay Jacobs says Auburn will not claim national championships in 1910, 1913, 1914, 1983, 1993, or 2004. Jacobs announced in January of 2014 that the athletics department was contemplating recognizing more titles. And here's an exact quote from him. "We've earned what we've earned, and people can count it different ways. But we've earned what we've earned," Jacobs told AL.com. "Those players on those teams, like me in 1983, it doesn't matter if you hang a banner or not. I know what we did." Auburn currently claims national titles in 1957 and 2010 on flags inside of Jordan-Hare. I personally think that Jay Jacobs made a huge mistake, and whoever looked into this, and I think it's something we should now revisit. Other teams have done this. It really helps build their team, and I think it helps with recruiting. When recruits see that Alabama has, however many championships they have now, 17, 18, I don't even know, and 6 of those were added from one season to the next, why on earth would we not do the same thing? Our teams did great. People recognized us as national championships, so let's just recognize it ourselves. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think that's shady in any way for us, since other teams are doing the same thing. And then at the same time, it bolsters our brand, it bolsters Auburn's brand to potential recruits. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And I think it is something that Auburn should revisit. Jay Jacobs is gone, so let's take another look at Auburn claiming more national championships. I know this may be a controversial take on this whole thing, but I'd love to hear what you think in the comments down below. Go ahead and leave a comment and let me know. And if you like this video, this is something a little different, some off-season content. If you liked it, let me know by leaving a like on this video. That helps more people see what I'm doing. And if you like this kind of thing, I'll make more of it. And if you come around here and watch the videos frequently, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because I'd love to have you back and I'd love for you to be notified when I make more videos. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.